Good morning. When the budget ends, we, the common men, wait for the experts, because each and every decision has what you can say a cascading effect or a spillover effect in an economy. Each and every economical decisions, and that is what budget is all about. We can conclude, or we can reach a very sensible conclusion when it is about the petrol price rise. We would say that it has an effect even on the food that we consume. How it trigger inflation, we can say that. But when it's a case of tax, we don't know the impact, we don't know the effect. We don't know how penetrative it is, how it penetrates, and how it has an effect in the way we live. That is where we seek the aid of the experts, the statisticians, because only they can reach a conclusion, a true pragmatic conclusion. We hear the issues regarding GST. We understand certain decisions taken on the background of elections coming, maybe in a state, maybe in a central government, maybe in the maybe a union election, maybe a Panjayathth election. It is always a process. It is always a common thing. Just like we say that it is very hard to find a non-corrupt politician. In the very same way, we will accept the reality that 80%, if not more, 80% of the decisions or the plans made or created in the budget is political in nature. It's a universal principle. In such a way, many of these conclusions, many of these discussions roam around these constructed notions. And that is where the Kerala economy has to make some decisions. As a society that has given prominence to decentralization, women empowerment, and the Panjayathth system, like these self-help groups, self-empowered groups, primary health centers, these Kudumbashrees, these Ayalkutams. We have realized, we have understood the true essence of our constitution, the constitution makers and our freedom fighters. It's about a decentralized social system where each and every individual, each and every subsect, it could be a state, it could be a religious or linguistic identity, it could be a ward, it could be a district, it could be a municipality, it could be a union territory. Each and everything has to be independent in a federal system where they accept that they're part of a larger federal network, and they are connected by or through a common feeling called India or nation. So any decision regarding the empowerment of or rather decentralization, it's the center's cup of tea. We can only make suggestions or it's about making suggestions, making conclusions, and consulting and asking the center to grant what we want. And that is where the empowerment of the Panjayathth system, or the financial empowerment through the power to collect tax. How can a state, or how can the micro unit of a nation, called these panchayats, these municipalities, how can they be empowered to tax? What are its dimensions? What are its repercussions? When land acquisition in Kerala still remaining the biggest obstacle to financial independence, when a real estate boom aided by the ward councillors is creating a parallel economy, creating a breeding ground for corruptions and a nexus of corrupt politicians, illicit traders, and narcotics, and even terrorism. When all these are open, when all these are transparent data, is it feasible to give more power to this smaller unit of democracy? How much and how far it is possible? But this has to, and this is what we have to analyze. When we pay crores and crores of rupees for election campaigning, why can't we hire a statistician or an economist or an international figure who has experience who has experience with varied socio-political economic scenarios around the globe? When we discuss and when we hire him or seek the advice of him or her, and ask them about the possibility of empowering or giving more tax collecting rights, the more power to collect more taxes, what kind of tax, what are the brackets they must cover, all this has to be analyzed. As we repeatedly tell, this might sound impractical, but it is a reality. It is something that we have to discuss, because when land acquisition is remaining a big problem, when we realize that quicker thing, the quickest access is considered as the best access. It's not just about the quality, but how fast you deliver it. When that has become the norm, empowering or providing or giving more freedom or more avenues to collect taxes for this for these Panchayat Raj institutions, will that make an impact, a positive impact? And we have to analyze it. It is a possibility. It takes a long time. It takes much broader discussions. It has ramifications stretching up to political instability. So this has to be discussed in detail. And when you discuss that, we come up with too many different ideas. Most of them are conflicting or contradictory, but still they remain relevant. When it is about decision taken by a micro unit of elected representatives, who is answerable? Can they escape simply by blaming the center or the state? When there is a kind of lack of transparency, the state government can suddenly interfere, or the next upper authority can quickly enter. Especially in this case of in the era of social media, it is not easy to be not transparent. There need to be some form of transparency. I'm not talking about petrol tax. I'm just talking about some more tax revenues, some more space to collect taxes, or what we can say, certain taxes that are collected by the state. Why can't we give the right to collect these taxes to a municipality, a corporation? What difference that it makes? We don't know the difference. But we see that there is some difference. There is some difference in the way we think. So it's about perceptions, it's about possibilities. As we always tell, it's about possibilities. And when we analyze possibilities, we come to compare things. When we compare things, we realize that what we lack and what is the surplus we have. So new decisions, new thinking, all this sprouts from nowhere. And in Indian Constitution, in India's concept of democracy, it's about empowerment. It's about decentralization. That's what we used to repeatedly tell. That is what we discussed in the starting session of this video. How to empower? It's about financial independence. Financial independence means power to make decisions. How transparent that decisions? Well, it's not a final authority. A municipality, a corporation, or a mayor, or a ward member, she or he is not the final authority. But when they make decisions, it creates a different space. It creates a very much different space where more responsibilities. It's about more responsibilities. When more responsibilities, when more tax comes, a more economic audit will it's a kind of more economic audit. So we are now in a very different realm where the empowerment, the financial empowerment of the micro units of democracy, that is a new it triggers a new conversation. It triggers a more fruitful conversation where the power to make decisions, it's now vested with the Panjayathth system. A mayor, a councillor, they decide how to, where to, when to tax, and they are scrutinized by the upper authority. Will that create an impact? Will that create a change? Well, it's all about changes. It's all about new ramifications new limits being pushed. That is especially why we have this constitutional amendment. What is that about? It's about the changes. It's about the updation that we need to make. It's about the need to move along with the time. So when that itself is mentioned in the Constitution, that is mentioned in the Constitution itself, why can't we give a try? It's not an experiment. It's an initiative. It's an initiative to find a new avenue, especially in a very open world and digital world. Why can't we go for something new, something productive? Let's move along. Let's move along with time. Let's embrace time. Let's embrace change. Let's realize that we can't stick on for long. We need to change. The way we think change. The way we need to think change. So let's move on.